Yo, so I seen this tweet on X/Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and I thought it would be cool to kind of go through some of these things here and just to get your thoughts on them and just kind of put them out in the atmosphere if it's something that we are in agreement on or if it's something that may seem a little bit silly. But either way, the tweet was from Marathon GG and they said, "What is one thing Marathon must do for you to come back/keep playing when season 2 rolls around? Let us know down below so we can help make this the best game possible." So, of course, it's Twitter, so there are going to be nougat head answers, I assume, or maybe these are all constructive, right? I don't know. We probably won't go through every single one, but we'll go through several of the most relevant ones. All right, we'll just kind of ramble and kind of kick it a little bit. All right, so first one here from Wholesomello. They said random stuff like events or parts of maps, locked/unlocked, completely randomly, so it can't just be all fully optimized. Less sweaty in-game, keeps no lives in ranked. And then Marathon GG said, "I feel we need more events that we have currently." So I agree with Marathon GG here. I'll just call him GG for the sake of the video. I agree with them here in totality that we do need some more, we do need more events. You know, like I would be okay if there was a guaranteed event every single map and every single run it was random, right? So let's say Bungie had a pool of 4 to 6 events and they don't all have to be extreme and magnificent, right? But if they were just more so prevalent, right? So a lot of people don't even know you can, like, for example, on Outpost, you can activate the convoy in the airfield, right? People don't know anything about that. All they really know about pinwheel over there, and then to avoid the I forgot the name of it, but the fire rain, right? Like, so they know that that's, you know, kind of that's a thing that may affect the flow of a match, the fire rain. And then, you know, some people know about the convoys, and then you got the pinwheel, right? So I'm not really talking about Outpost. This is more so for perimeter and Dire Marsh, right? Dire Marsh, we have the lockdown and we have the anomaly, right? And then we have the intercept event and perimeter. And I don't think we have anything else. We have an occasional warden here and there, but again, like, give us 4 to 6 like quality beefy events, right? And I don't think they would roll them all out at once, of course, but like over time, like, let's stockpile these events so that way every map or every run feels a little bit more dynamic. Will it be annoying if you're looking for a lockdown and you get another event and you do 5 runs on Dire Marsh and there are all other events? Absolutely. But again, I think it's just a way to keep things a bit more flavorful, and so that when you do get that lockdown run, it's like, oh snap, lockdown, let's go try that. You might PvP a little bit, so on and so forth, right? So I think something like that could be cool. Maybe it's too much, I don't know, I'm not a developer, right? So having some random stuff I think could be cool. Locking and unlocking part of the map, I think that can get a little bit silly, especially when you're trying to do certain contracts, right? Imagine you're on Dire Marsh and you got to go to maintenance and maintenance is locked. Nah, I don't really agree with that. That can be a headache in its own right. But random events, I'm with. What do we have here? Oscar Jimenez, be back no matter what. Funnest FPS on the market. Respect. Game recognized game. Mr. Guap said make PvP only mode. And then GG said would be good to have as an option. I see a lot of people talking about making a PvP only mode, right? Like doing some type of arena setting or doing like the Crucible equivalent for Marathon. And I think that's something that could be cool, but the only problem with that, the only problem is nobody will want to run their equipment or their gear into a regular raid if you could only use the equipment that you exfil with, right? Again, that's the big if. The only way a PvP only arena style mode could work is if they took the Apex Legends approach. And if you don't know what that is, Apex Legends has like TDM, and they have a mode called Control, which is like domination in Call of Duty. They have modes like that, but they have preset loadouts, and the loadouts rotate, I think, every day. So in one game, there may be a loadout that you can equip, and there's like 4 to 5 loadouts that you can choose from, by the way, right? There's like a recon loadout and then like an aggressive loadout, and then like there's a bunch of different loadouts, right? So they would have to take that similar approach with Marathon, right? You know, have a, you know, party mode or like an arena mode, whether if it's 4v4, 6v6 or whatever, have multiple modes there, but they would have to have like preset or pre-made loadouts for people to actually acquire and use. Now, if they fully fleshed it out and let you choose your weapons or unlock weapons and put attachments on and like fleshed out its own like multiplayer avenue, hey, I wouldn't be opposed to that either. I know a lot of people would like really gel with that and they would vibe with that a great deal. So that is something maybe worth exploring. I don't know, but just throwing that out there. Back to this tweet here. Necrid says, I want Cryo to be tuned and integrated into the game with priority quests and always be available. I'm really on the fence if I want to play another season just to be able to access Cryo a few days a week. I don't like gated content. I don't like this model at all. It was an amazing event and experience, but for season 2, gatekeeping it again, not a fan. The map design is the best part of the game to me. I'm hoping Dire Marsh nighttime is more than just lighting, which I think it will be, me too. And perimeter needs a little love to make it a touch more interesting. Feels a touch linear with blocking the lanes and lack of vegetation or line of sight objects for path blocking. Necrid honestly has like the best suggestion or like the best comment, whatever we want to call this, tweet. I don't know the technical term. X tweet. I don't know. But in my opinion, like I rock with this so much, and I didn't even think about this in all honesty. Like making Cryo evolve into more of a traditional map, I think could be really, really cool. It does kind of take away from the whole like in-game chase, right? Like it'd be like, oh man, in-game players salivate for Cryo weekends to come around so they can sweat for that 3 to 4 day period, right? I think, is it 4 days? It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then a little bit of Sunday. So three to 4 days, right? People wait for it to come around so they can, you know, sweat on it. I don't get a chance to play Cryo a lot because I'm a bit limited. Typically like that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like I might be able to play a touch on Sunday morning before they take it away, but that's neither here nor there. I don't fuss too much about it, but integrating Cryo Archive into more of a traditional map, I think could be cool. It could work, but I think it only works if they have another in-game map release, right? So for that to happen in season 2, I don't foresee that happening, right? Maybe like season 4, they release another, or no, we'll get a new map season 3, right? So maybe in season 3, when they release a new map and they make it more of like the end game focus, they bring Cryo Archive more in alignment with like an outpost, right? So that it is a bit more accessible for the average Joe to actually check it out and to really, really vibe and gel with. And then maybe we will have some priority contracts that do take us to Cryo Archive, you know? So I resonate with Necrid's sentiment here. I resonate with that wholeheartedly, but I don't think that's going to happen in season 2. I don't know if you all heard, my dogs just absolutely lost their mind in the background, but it is what it is. We're good. We're good there. Let's see here. We got Ghost. Ghost said, I'm already locked in for season 2. But I low-key hope they keep Dire Marsh sponsored, and I really like what the carry event has done for mid/end season. Really pushes everyone to help more and rewards our balance. TBH, just keep balancing the game and add more weapons for diversity. And this is something I rock with. I actually rock with this. This is a base take, right? Keeping the sponsored experimental queue, I think, is going to be great, even if it's not Dire Marsh and they move it to perimeter. Or I made a video, there was somebody on Reddit saying like, hey, maybe they should give it a go with Cryo Archive, right? I think just having that sponsored experimental queue is going to be really, really good, because what it is it's a mode that if you get beat up a little bit, right? And full transparency, me and my homies did some runs. We did like 2 or 3 runs, got rocked, right? And kind of wanted to just regroup, right? Just have a successful run on an even playing field. So we did one Dire Marsh sponsored run, and we did just that. We, you know, beat 2 teams, got some decent loot and got on up out of there. And was like, okay, cool. Then our next run, that outpost run after that, we wiped the entire lobby, got into the pinwheel, got into the master key room, got another crowd key, etc. Right? But so like, again, that Dire Marsh map is really, really good because it helps give us the opportunity to like build momentum. You know what I'm saying? If we didn't have that sponsored playlist, it's like, where are you going to go to be able to build some momentum? You know what I'm saying? So Ghost, I rock with you here. What else we got here? What else? Mac says, Mac would like a new area that feels more mysterious and is focused on exploration than it is looking for a fight. Twice the size of the normal maps. Okay. That's the only reason I will come back, because I just don't care for the current meta and the way the game feels. GG said, hoping we can have something like that for their next map. Yeah, like twice the size of normal maps. I think that's a lot to ask for. I think that's a lot of traversal, and like there would be no fights, but that's kind of what Mac wants. Mac wants exploration. And it sounds like Mac is looking for more of a PvE experience, if I'm being totally honest here. I just don't see that happening. Twice the size. Like if they do have larger maps or more spread out maps, I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. Honestly, as I'm sitting here rambling, I would like if they evolved perimeter, if they like knock down that center wall so we can have some long range sight lines. I think that could be cool, right? It might play a little bit more like Dire Marsh, but I think that could work. Actually, I don't know because it might play too much like Dire Marsh as I'm sitting here talking about it, and then people will be like, oh, why would I ever touch perimeter? It's just like Dire Marsh, so on and so forth. So maybe not that, but you know, maybe they can just get some wheels turning and like evolve perimeter in some capacity. Maybe they can like explore the like underground tunnels a little bit more. I don't know, but I think, and I don't even know how I went on this tangent here, but I think like having maps like evolve or like focusing on the evolution of maps will be a pretty good placeholder while we're waiting on the new map to come out, right? So yeah, getting back on track here, bringing that all the way back around to the homie Mac here. Yeah, I don't know, but all good, Mac. I respect your opinion and I respect your beliefs here. Moving on here, let's see. Wilhelm says in season 2 they want more to do. This game should be more centered around activities, or excuse me, more centered around activity buffs instead of ranked, etc. More priority contracts, more in-map events, more reason to grind. Buff the PvE aspect without nerfing the PvP, so runners always have to stay cautious when engaging in any activity. Also, the key templates, instead of being fragile, make it lootable. So if you kill a runner and take their template and exfil with it, it is now yours. So I resonate with this here as well. When he initially said more to do, I was like, what do you mean by that, right? There's a lot of progression, but no, I understand now. So like more priority contracts, more in-game map events. We already kind of talked about that. The more priority contract thing I think could be nice as well. Just focusing on more activities and more things to do would give Bungie more cards to be able to play with. And then they can shuffle the deck however they see fit. So every raid you drop into, there can be a different experience, right? Kind of like we talked about with the events, right? If there's always going to be 2 events that happen on a map and there's 6 events on that map, it can play out, what's that? 6, would it be 6 times 6 equals 36, carry to 1, divide by 2. Yeah, you get like 1,000 event mix-ups that you could have, and they can all play out in various ways. You know what I'm saying? So definitely would love more in-game events. The priority contracts I'm a little bit indifferent on, but more reasons to grind, I'm all for that as well. And yeah, focusing on more activities over ranked. If we had to choose one, I would honestly go over the activities. Like I played a little bit of ranked, and I'm gonna be honest, I just was not vibing with it at all. Like it just was not my jam. So I just went back to regular and was totally fine, you know? So again, I vibe with what Wilhelm is saying right here. I vibe with it. And then the key template thing, like I didn't even think about this. There probably have been so many teams that like I've knocked and wiped with fragile key templates and like had no idea they were even rocking a key. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, making keys like actual items, I think, or making key templates actual items, I think could be pretty cool. Even if they go from being fragile to compromise. Isn't that the term, compromise? You got to get a matter fixative for it. I would be all for that, right? If I got a good key that was compromised, I would run around, try to fight a commander, find a matter fixative, do whatever I got to do before exfilling, right? That would give me a little more incentive there. So yeah, Wilhelm, I'm with you. Steve, what does Steve say? Revamp perimeter and Dire Marsh. I almost exclusively play Outpost. I don't think a revamp is coming in season 2, my friend, but it could come sometime down the road. We'll get Dire Marsh night mode. So that'll be cool. As for revamping perimeter, I kind of alluded to that a little bit earlier. I would like to see the map fleshed out a little bit more, or, you know, transform in some capacity, right? So I guess in a roundabout way, I do agree with Steve a little bit here. I just don't think it's going to come in season 2, you know? Let me see. I'll go through a couple more of these. Yeah, this video is already running a little bit long, so I'll go through a couple more of these. Harry Balls said another free weekend would bring him back here in season 2. He said special server consisting of perimeter, dire, and outpost maps only. Limited gear to prevent veteran players griefing. New players, 3-day grace period to purchase the game at a 10% discount, and your progress is kept so you can jump right back in and continue. I actually like that idea. a lot, because the free weekend would get people, like, it would get their feet wet, right? give them, yeah, like some limited gear, some limited kits, so that they, so that they can have an opportunity to like mess with some of the higher tier stuff, because that's really when Marathon opens up. And then from there, if people are really vibing with it, they can keep rolling. And hey, guess what? Instead of paying $40, you can get Marathon right now for $34.99. I don't know. That may help, right? That may help and give Bungie another opportunity to get people in through the door, and everybody's back on an even playing ground, right? Because that would be the start of the new wipe as well. So I think something like that with some slight alterations could have some viability, you know? So Harry Balls, yeah, I am in agreement with you. I don't know if I agree with the name, but that's another convo for another day. Let's see. Eusty says, I guess more maps with like difficulty varieties. Like it gets kind of repetitive when I want to play Marathon, but not compromise too much. And the only maps I have are either Outpost or Dire Marsh. Also maybe a range and stuff to like practice shooting and enemy sighting. Yes to the range. Like we need a range. Like Bungie, y'all should have known this before this game even launched. We need a range, period, point blank. So I totally agree with that. More maps with difficulty varieties. I don't see that happening here for season 2, but we will have more maps in the future. And then the maps will just scale based off of UESC presence and design and stuff like that. Without compromising too much, my homie Eusty said. I'm sorry, that's just an extraction shooter. Every time you go in, you're going to be compromising something, my friend. But the range though, yes, come on, we need a range. We need a range. We need a range. Last 3 tweets I'll cover here. Wim says, a huge map that actually feels like a marathon and teams must run from one section to other, continually moving as a danger follows them all, fighting PvEVP as they continually move away from the imminent danger, coming closer and closer. An actual marathon experience, hee hee. So I laughed initially because I thought this was a joke, and I don't know why I read hee hee in Michael Jackson's voice, but I will refuse to do the Michael Jackson voice here, all right? But something like this would be crazy, and I just thought about it. This reminds me of, if you all have ever ran Wrath of the Machine in Destiny 1, there's a section where literally there's like this wall that's chasing you and you got to progress forward. That to me was one of the coolest one of the coolest raid things ever. That you had to jump over or jump on top of the wall, move some batteries around, and then the wall blows up and you all just free fall. Like, yo, that entire experience was lit. If they could incorporate something like that in the marathon, like, I don't think they have the capacity to do that. Like, I don't even know where to start from a design standpoint, but if they did something crazy and or ambitious like that, hey, I'm with it, man. I like the chaos. I thrive in chaos. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be with it. I will be with it. 2 more here. Cal Cuddington says the 30 variations of Spark Leaf being greater than Bio being greater than Quarantine in a single run need to be removed. It's like, congrats on doing it. Now you get to do the same thing but different 30 more times. I think Cal is talking about the mission structure where you got to go acquire something, drop it somewhere, and then take it somewhere else in a single run. If Cal's talking about that mission structure, I can understand where they're coming from there. If Cal is not, I have no idea what Cal is talking about. But let's assume Cal's talking about that mission structure. I can see the annoyance here of needing to like play errand boy and go hit all these POIs in one run. But I think that's from a design standpoint, because when you have to go to all these different places on the map, your likelihood of running into PvP encounters are going to be greater. Your likelihood of surviving is going to be lesser, so that stakes can still be set. I don't know like how they can really vary missions in an extraction shooter outside of collect this item, go to this point, go to that point, hold down this site, destroy this person, destroy other enemy players. Like, I don't really know outside of like things like that what they can do from a mission standpoint, but at the same time, like, I don't have that type of creative mind in that respect, you know? So Bungie, if y'all could be more creative, Cal's saying be more creative and it'll come back. All right. Last tweet we'll jump into here, at least for this video. And by the way, if you want to continue reading through this thread, just holla at the homie Marathon GG. Their ad is Marathon GG_ for anybody that wants to follow and read some of these threads. All right. But last tweet here, we have David. David says, for season 2, Bring in a crafting system for faction upgrades. So I think he's talking about an example. So for example, turn 8 green into 1 blue and a blue and a purple, etc., or lower requirements, as getting all upgrades is currently crazy. A more PvE style in-game map, not remove PvP completely, but less teams, and then a grenade loadout limit or cooldown mechanic. So 3 points here made by David. The first point, the crafting system, and they probably wouldn't call it crafting, they probably would call it like a barter system. I agree. I actually talked about this in another video of mine. If we had a barter system, where I could turn in 20 unstable diode and get 5 fractal circuits, and then trade in 5 fractal circuits for a neural chem pack. I'm just throwing out random stuff, right? Like, I would be happy to do that, so happy to do that, and it would make some of those lower tier salvage still valuable, right? If you're struggling and all you can get out with is unstable diode, well, you still got a chance to, spec into a specific upgrade node. You know what I'm saying? So I would love something like that, absolutely. And I hope that's what the Cradle system is. That's coming in season 2, sometime in season 2. I think the Cradle system is the Cradle system is coming. Not 100% sure. It might be in season 3. I gotta look back at the roadmap. But either way, I think that'd be dope. More PvE style in-game map, I'm indifferent on. Like, PvE starts to become resident sleeper, man. Like, it just does, at least for me, right? Shooting the same stuff over and over and over again without any other threat of imminent danger is just like, come on. Like, the whole thought of, man, it could be a team watching me shoot this AI, that's what makes an extraction shooter, right? And I know homie said don't remove PvP completely, but make it less teams. Like, again, that just makes the gameplay loop kind of boring, because we're just shooting UESC, right? Maybe if we're shooting aliens, if we're shooting Moore's Fit, or whatever other alien is out there in Marathon, maybe that could be enticing, but after a while it's just going to get stale because it's predictable, right? Like, the thing that makes an extraction shooter great is its unpredictability. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm indifferent, but I'll leave that for you all. And then a grenade loadout limit or cooldown mechanic. I think they should experiment with the grenade cooldown mechanic. I think they can do that in their experimental queue. They can assign a 10-second grenade cooldown or something like that and just collect data, compile data, hear what the community says about it, extend it to 20 seconds, see how that plays out, right? So on and so forth. And if we vibe with it, they can bring it into the main game. I think that would be cool. I don't think they should debut something like that right away. I think that would be jarring for a lot of people, especially people that might go from dropping a bubble shield to get a revive to dropping a flechette grenade so that you don't have the opportunity to push in, or if you do, you're going to get punished, right? Like, if you can only do one at a time, it can be like, dang, bro, I can't quite stack the way I want to. I can't, it really cheapens the skill gap a little bit. But if there's a bit of a cooldown, then there can still be a skill gap present in some capacity. So yeah, I would say out of the 3 points, the first one I'm with, the second one I'm like, man, the third one I'm like, maybe with some alterations there. So yeah, with that being said, again, there's a lot more comments here. I will not go through them all for the sake of this video. This is already a 20-minute video, so I'm going to shut up and I'm going to hand the mic over to you all. If you are currently playing Marathon or considering to come back in season 2, what is at least one thing Marathon must do for you to come back, or for you to keep rocking and rolling? Let me know down in the comments below. I am eager to hear. And until next time, your boy Cray is signing out. I love you all. Thank you all so much for coming and watching, and I will catch you all in the next one.